I've always maintained a steadfast skepticism toward the supernatural. Ghosts, aliens, monsters, to me, they were merely fanciful tales spun to amuse or terrify. But after the harrowing ordeal that unfolded in the desolate reaches of the Southwest, my perspective on the enigmatic and the unknown has been irrevocably warped. My expedition was with my closest companion, Jake, on a road trip that would lead us into the depths of the Navajo reservation in Arizona. The decision was motivated by the promise of picturesque landscapes and a deep reverence for the region's rich history. Despite the lingering tales of skinwalkers, we laughed off the notion of encountering such mythical entities. They were simply the stuff of folklore, weren't they? For the initial leg of our journey, our days on the reservation were uneventful, marked by visits to local attractions, friendly interactions with the indigenous inhabitants, and a tranquil evening camped near a looming canyon. As nightfall draped its inky shroud upon the land, we huddled around a crackling campfire, sharing stories while basking in the eerie serenity of the desert's embrace. Around midnight, with fatigue finally tugging at his eyelids, Jake decided to retire to our tent. I, on the other hand, remained ensnared by the celestial splendor above. The Milky Way sprawled across the heavens, casting its cosmic glow upon the arid landscape. A profound sense of tranquility washed over me. That sense of peace, however, would be mercilessly shattered. In the profound stillness of the night, a low, guttural growl reverberated through the very heart of the canyon. My senses were instantly heightened, attributing the sound to a mere coyote or perhaps a lurking mountain lion. Yet, a sinister twist was added to this auditory puzzle when I discerned a voice, warped and distorted, akin to someone speaking through a fractured radio. It was unmistakably Jake's voice. "Come here," it beckoned, in an eerie, inhuman timbre. My heart froze, rational thought betraying me as my gaze darted towards the tent. Jake lay fast asleep, oblivious to the night's malevolent metamorphosis. The voice called out again, this time from a direction opposite to Jake's slumbering form. My trembling hand clutched a flashlight, its beams slicing through the veil of darkness toward the sound's source. What unfolded before me that night shall forever haunt my waking hours. Upon a rocky ridge stood an abomination. It wore the guise of a man, but its anatomy was grotesquely elongated, its eyes blazing a sickly yellow that pierced the inky night. Its attire was tattered and its skin bore a sickly mottled gray, but the most disturbing feature was its countenance. It bore the visage of Jake. An uncanny mimicry of his very face. My limbs quivered as I stumbled back in sheer horror, my pulse racing like a wild stallion. The fiendish apparition echoed Jake's voice again, the words like an incantation luring me into madness, "Come here." It took a grotesque step closer, its movements erratic and alien, like a puppeteer's macabre dance. Panic constricted my chest, and I bolted toward the tent, desperately shaking Jake awake from his peaceful slumber. "We must leave, now," I hissed, terror etched across my face. Bewildered and jarred from his sleep, Jake scanned the scene before him, yet my sense of urgency spurred him into swift action. We frantically packed our belongings, but the creature's sinister mimicry persisted, echoing our voices, our laughter, and even our recent conversations. As we sped away in our car, the haunting specter materialized in our rearview mirror, blocking our escape route, its malignant yellow eyes radiating malevolence from the abyss. Our flight didn't cease until we reached the nearest town, where we checked into a dimly lit motel. Throughout the night, I delved into the grim annals of Skinwalker lore, learning that these entities were whispered to be witches capable of assuming the form of both animals and humans, employing their voices as seductive lures for their unsuspecting prey. I may never fully comprehend the horrors we encountered that fateful night, but one certainty remains etched in my psyche: the tales and legends of the Southwest are far from mere folklore. The region, beautiful and beguiling, conceals secrets that defy comprehension, and I shall never dare to tread upon the Navajo reservation again. To all those who chance upon these words, heed this harrowing account as a solemn warning. Exercise the utmost caution when venturing into uncharted territories, for some legends are birthed in the crucible of reality, and certain nightmares are, beyond any doubt, unrelentingly real.